All right, Hannah, you're up next. Just a real quick recap. You're from where? Cleveland where?
Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. All right, Ohio in the house. Let's see, we have in 2024, you did 68 units personally, 135 for you and your team. The goal this year is to do 70 units and 235. That's quite a jump, which we'll talk about how we're going to do that in a second. You've gone through team building, elite coach. You've been in elite coaching since 2023. And of course, you're a sales rocket graduate. Let's jump into the first section of your plan. Now, by the way, these are not their complete plans. Their plans are complete. I grabbed 3 to 4 pages of each one of their plans so that way you could get different pieces from each. So this one was pretty fascinating to me. Hannah, you made the decision in 2025 that you were going to add a new source of business, and that source is hybrid farming. So tell us what's going on here.
Correct. So I have, in the last few months, joined the Chamber of Commerce for my community. And when I was leaving actually Lead Up, I got an email that they were looking to add directors. So I have moved into a director role with that, where I'm going to be in charge of events or membership with the local businesses, adding value that way, and collaboration to increase my visibility and help promote the other small businesses.
Yeah. So, obviously, you've been coming to events for a while, you've been in coaching. Is it just you had heard a lot of people having success with hybrid farming, or where did you, I know we've taught it from the stage, but what was it that finally said, you know what, I gotta do this source? And you wrote out a pretty thorough plan. If they can throw that back up there, you wrote out a pretty thorough plan of your 10 action steps that we talked about.
So I've been saying for the last 2 years I was going to do it, but did not put pen to paper on what I was going to do. And coming here, hearing Taylor's experience with that, it was something of the, I'm going to do this, but I didn't take the action.
Yeah. So you hung out in the space where a lot of people do, I'll get around to that, or this plan's, it's intense, I'll maybe hang out on that page at some other point. And at what point, and what was it that caused you to say, you know what, no, I need to do this? What was that turning point?
I'm very passionate about it, and being more involved with my community. About 1.5 years ago, I moved back to my hometown, and I don't know that many people there, and I've been getting to know my neighbors, things beyond that. And with our events for our clients, we usually have some sort of fundraiser also going on. And I partnered with our local schools to help 2 years ago for Christmas or the holidays for mothers that weren't able to bring, the holiday to their kids, and anonymously got their Christmas list, dropped them off to the school. And knew there was so much opportunity where I could be of service in my community, and the more success I have, the more I better be giving back that abundance.
That's right, because people want to do business with people who do good things in their communities. And so, it's not selfish to promote the good that you're doing. Certainly you can give quietly. There's a lot of things we do. I just had a conversation with our team about everything that Glover's Heroes did over the last year. I'm like, I only saw like 6 things. Oh my, every week we're doing something. Getting the word out, that awareness will cause other people to say, we want to help out that cause too. So don't feel bad about promoting that stuff when you're doing it. So hybrid farming is on the agenda for this year. Let's take a look at the next page. Database. So it looks like you wrote out a new database value proposition, which is pretty strong. It's pretty thorough in my opinion. So tell us what's going on here, or pick on 2 or 3 things that you are really excited about in terms of implementing this year.
Well, what's going on here is, honestly, until last year, I didn't have a database compiled anywhere. It was some Excel sheets and just in my head. I didn't even fully grasp what a database was. And most people, by the way, you're not alone. Most people think a database is a spreadsheet with phone numbers, names, and email addresses of past clients and sphere of influence that they send drip campaigns to. Honestly, that's what most of your competitors see as their database. So when we teach doing, forget all the complicated systems and all this stuff out there, 1 thing per month that you can do that's going to add value. That's it. Don't complicate it. What are 1 or 2 things that you're mostly excited about this year in terms of adding value to that group? I am excited about adding more client events on there, and then partnering with another local business for Mother's Day. We're going to do a spa day
Yeah.
for our clients. And then I'm also excited about adding fellow and having something else to also keep those touches going.
Yeah.
Because it's something I lack
Sure.
doing. I know that I need to be doing more database touches, so adding something else to help
you
take
with those
that
touches.
leverage.
Yep, that's great. All right, good. Let's go to the next page. So Midway Mayday. So your number is 4. Well, your number is 8, 7.5, and you'll see there we say round up. So if you're not at 4 pending sales by the 15th, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things written down here that you're going to do. Now, are these things fun and exciting for you?
Not necessarily.
You can see it in your face. So how did you come up with those?
I used the stuff that I have from you guys.
Okay,
Really?
that's fair. All right. But I mean, I would assume these are painful then, like door knocking.
I don't have my glasses on.
That's okay.
I can't even read it right now.
That's all right.
I'm blanked out with my nerve.
That's okay. So she can't see and she blanked out because of her nerve. So let me read to you. Door knocking, call for sale by owners. You're going to do an additional open house in the second half of the month. You're going to call high chance of selling, repeat clients, and you're going to host a lunch and learn. So which one of those would you say is painful, but you know you're going to get results with?
Making calls.
Making the calls.
I will door knock over making calls any day.
You will door knock over making calls any day of the week. So if you're not at the 4,
Yes.
okay, so hold on a second. January the 21st, how many do you have pending so far this month? Be honest.
I think I have 6.
All right, so here's what happens. Watch this. When you are at the Midway Mayday number, the halfway point of the 15th of the month, and you're above the halfway point, you don't have to do any of this stuff. Correct. You just keep doing what you've been doing for the rest of the month. And then we check in again on the 15th of February. So this is a list of things you can do that you know will get you results, but you don't enjoy doing them. That's essentially the concept behind it. Because if you know they're coming, then you're going to scrape and claw and do everything you can to avoid doing these things. But you also know, because you made the agreement with yourself, if you're not halfway there, you're going to have to do this stuff. Otherwise, there's no chance you're hitting your goal for the month. You agree with that?
I agree.
All right, awesome. Let's go to the next page. Life at the new level. All right, so I know you can't read it, but you remember writing it, I'm sure. This is 2023 versus 2024, what you want your life to look like in 2024 versus 2023.
So this actually, last year when I came here, doing all of these things with this and the Live Unreal formula, I found myself just overwhelmed with gratitude and my life, and a lot of the things that were my goals on there came to life in 24.
Yep.
But it was very inspiring and impactful to me because like 9 years ago, technically, I didn't even have a driver's license. You know, I couldn't get past a drink and self. And today I get to inspire others and be the pillar for my family.
Yeah.
That they call. And so a lot of my goals are just to continue to be able to build people up and grow and do such a thing.
So, yep. So you've had to overcome a lot.
Yes.
When you think about the stuff that is painful to overcome in business, it's peanuts compared to what you had to overcome. So that's probably where your drive comes from now. When you look at things like calling a for sale by owner or calling a lead after you've called them 7 times, they don't return your call. So when you wrote this out, you had 2 experiences. You experienced a gratitude feeling, but you also wrote out some pretty cool things that you want to accomplish in 2025. You want to tell us about 1 or 2 of those?
Well, some things I want to accomplish without looking at that is I'm going to be building my grandmother an in-law, and she's going to be moving in with me.
Okay. Yep.
With the team, continue to grow, continue to add more leverage and support. And I literally can't read that, Jeff.
All right, let's go. We'll go to the next one. We got more for you, Hannah. Don't worry.
We're going to have to blow it up.
That's all right. Let's go to the next one.
Give me a magnifying glass.
I think we have 1 or 2 more. All right, good. Source to source. Okay, so you wrote out, all right, source to source, make me feel important right at the top. And for you, your client databases, your client events, your client stuff that you're doing to add value to your database was where your business came from, according to this document.
Correct.
So what comes to mind when you think of the source to source?
So the source is the source. I have clients that came from when I first started from Zillow to buy something very little that were given to me because somebody didn't want to work with them.
Yep.
We now have several apartment buildings in their portfolio. We learned commercial together.
Yep.
And I would say number 2 or 3 in my sources is agent to agent referrals and lender to agent referrals.
Yep.
And so also making sure that I acknowledge those people. I try
Yeah.
to make sure that I'm giving them the updates. I send, whenever a client or an agent sends me a referral, I always send a handwritten card with a gift card in there.
Yeah.
Just thanking them for that.
You treat the agent referrals like it's a sphere of influence referral.
Yes.
Yep. Awesome.
And to just know our numbers.
Yeah.
There's, we were able to
Your
make
whole-
adjustments on what we were
Yeah.
going to keep and what we were going to take down a notch or level up this year based on sourcing the source.
Sourcing the source is holding your actions to your database accountable to results and continuing it if it's working or eliminating it if it's not. Yeah,
Correct.
love that. All right, let's go to the next page. I think we got one more, maybe 2 for Hannah. All right, so we got the goal setting needs and wants activity. And you wrote at the top, unreal life form, and you did the math on your personal expenses and your business expenses. They total about $40,000 a month. And so therefore, you need to have 12 transactions written and 10 closed. And then of course at the bottom there, you just wrote, what I love about what you did in the bottom here, and the reason why I picked this page, I know you can't see it, but
You
when
know what I did though?
when James talked about writing out your needs and wants, you see she's got all of her wants listed down there at the bottom. So she calculated the cost of the wants, you total that up and you divide it by 12. And now that becomes that monthly number. We just shared that even, during our VIP lunch. Anything you want to add to the needs and wants activity for yourself?
No, I'm pretty happy.
I pretty
with
covered
things I have on there.
All right, good. I agree. All right, I think you might have one more for Hannah. Oh, yeah. All right, Hannah, I was really impressed with this. This is your business, sales, and life development plan. And we've taught agents for years. I want to see no less than 1 or 2, no more than 3 or 4 things you're going to do in every single one of these categories. And the categories are coaching, social media, accountability, technology, masterminds, right? These are the things that you're going to do because our thought process is if you can take action on this list, then the business plan is going to be kind of the easy part. The rest of the stuff's just going to fall into place. Like I use technology, for instance. There's probably something that you've been putting off as it relates to a technology your CRM offers that you could probably go back and implement. And you actually wrote out 2, 3, 4 things for each one of these categories. I thought that was very impressive. By the way, you guys should be taking pictures of some of this stuff because these are good ideas. You also wrote, you identified the exposure, all right? The events that you're going to be attending. The retreat, obviously, the summit, lead up. I know you already attended lead up, but we have that twice a year. And then, of course, the tour stops. So you wrote out a list of things that you know that if you can focus on in 2025, the rest of your business plan is going to become easy.
Correct.
All right. Is there any more for Hannah? One more, maybe? Okay, go back to the last one. All right. Hannah, anything else, when you think about, obviously, you've been to tour stop, one of the benefits I think of being in Ohio is obviously being so close to Michigan. Ohio was one of the first states we ever started teaching agents outside of Michigan. Because, in Michigan, they won't listen to me. That's Jeff, he's our competitor or whatever. But I go to Ohio and they're, oh my God, this stuff is gold. I got to get this stuff. So you've spent some time around us. What would you say are 1 or 2 things, especially in the last couple of years, or even from the early days, that you have taken away from our system that has made a difference in your business that they could learn from too?
I couldn't name just 1 or 2.
Okay.
There's so much that has been impacted. I mean, when I got into coaching last year, I was working about 80 hours a week. I worked 7 days a week. I had 0 plan with my day. So the routine and Taylor getting me into time blocking was huge.
Yep.
And learning that there's a difference between acknowledging and responding.
Yes.
And do not disturb has become my best friend.
Uh-huh.
But just even, I think one of my favorite things is the community and the people in this room. Like, I stay in touch with people throughout the year. Beyond coaching, I'm consulting with Kate.
Yep.
If you're struggling, just sign up for coaching, because if I would have listened to Greg when he first told me to, like 8 months prior,
Yeah.
I would have saved myself so many hours.
Yeah. You're all in. You play all in.
Yes.
And you play to win, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, it's all about action.
Awesome. All right, let's hear it for Hannah.